The Florida Panthers entered free agency expecting to add very little as they were $3 million over the cap limit. However, the team managed to walk away with a surprisingly decent haul, making arguably the blockbuster trade of the offseason with the acquisition of forward Matthew Tkachuk. But apart from that, they also managed to snag former Ottawa Senators defenseman Michael Del Zotto on a 1 year, two-way contract worth $750,000. Let's find out what he brings to the Panthers next season, starting with his history in the NHL. And being a Rangers fan myself, I am very familiar with Michael Del Zotto. He was drafted 20th overall by the Rangers in the 2008 NHL entry draft, and then he dressed for his first game on October 2nd, 2009 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the very next night he would score his first NHL goal against the Ottawa Senators, frankly enough. And then during the 2011-12 season, he got his first taste of playoff action as he played in 20 games, scoring 2 goals and assisting on 8 others while finishing with a -4 rating in terms of plus minus. Funny enough, again, this was against the Ottawa Senators too. The following season, he returned to the postseason and notched a goal and assist along with a -3 rating. And then in the 2013-14 season, I believe it was in January of 2014, Del Zotto was traded to the Nashville Predators for Kevin Kline, and then he had a lot of teams playing pretty much with him afterwards. He had played for the Flyers, after the Predators, then the Canucks, then the Ducks, then the Blues, then the Blue Jackets, and then the Senators. So he's pretty much hockey's version of former NFL quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, who ended up playing for 9 different teams over the course of his career. In his most recent season, Del Zotto played 26 games for the Senators, scoring 3 goals and gathering 10 assists. This past summer, he was bought out of his contract. Through his 12 years in the NHL, he's piled up 262 points, which was, 63 goals and 199 assists for those who wanted the breakdown, through 736 games, along with a -30 rating. So, with his history taken into account, why is Del Zotto such a good fit, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you, he can give the youth some valuable lessons. That's the first thing I considered because he's seen a lot in his 12 years in the NHL, and that includes multiple playoff appearances. With a lot of young defense on the team, such as Matt Kierstead and Lucas Carlson, he would be the perfect guy to guide them in the right direction. Not only could Del Zotto help the main roster, but considering his contract is two-way, he could also help out the defensive prospects in the American Hockey League with the Charlotte Checkers. His service may not be needed every night in the NHL, but his impact may be bigger on the organization as a whole. They also have Mark Staal, who is another former New York Ranger who Del Zotto spent a lot of time with to guide them. So their defense is not just full of, valuable veteran defensemen who can help out the younger players, but they have a lot of prospects coming up in the run. So Florida is in good hands there. And of course, the plan is to have the team healthy through an entire 82-game season. But injuries are unfortunately part of the game, and some younger pieces may need to sit out or be sent down to the minors to hone their skills. If one of those were to happen, Del Zotto could easily fill in as a veteran on the back end for the Panthers. In addition, he probably won't be getting a ton of minutes when he's playing, as he would more than likely slot on the third defensive pairing with someone like Brendan Montour. Last season, a lot of the roster struggled to handle the atmosphere of the playoffs, and that included some of their top stars. As a result, they were swept by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the second round. With someone like Del Zotto, who's had a fair amount of playoff experience, he could easily settle things down for players who haven't done as well in the atmosphere or have yet to see themselves in the playoffs. Even if he doesn't play any minutes in the postseason, assuming the Panthers get in, the message he gives should stick with the team as a whole. Because after the bombshell trade that sent Mackenzie Weegar to the Flames, there may be a chance that Del Zotto actually gets a larger role on the team. But of course, anything can happen with only 3 months left to go before the season starts. However, head coach Paul Maurice knows that he has a fair amount of options to plug into the lineup, which should put his mind at ease come the start of training camp. It is unknown how good the defense will be this season, but it just gained some excellent veteran leadership in the well-traveled Del Zotto. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.